easiest way and the fastest way to do it is to find someone who has the results that you want. Either model what they did, so copy what they did, or get their advice and get them supporting you and helping you along the way. So, but it has to be someone you look up to, because otherwise you will hate their guts and you will not want to do what they did. If you don't like Gary Vee, don't follow Gary Vee. If you don't like Tony Robbins, don't follow Tony Robbins. There's so many people, so many coaches, so many people you can resonate with, and it will help you in the long run if you do. So go out there, find that person, and work with them, and they will help you get success a lot faster.
All right,
Start more in the beginning of the who the hell I am.
we are now recording, so I'm gonna stop saying all the crazy things I was saying. Conversation's gonna get a little tamed. No, I'm kidding. Man, okay, we're here with. Come on, let me say it. Florjan Avsenek, perfect. And you're a health and fitness coach, right?
That would be one way to put it.
Okay.
I would rather just put myself as a mentor to high achievers. If that makes sense.
I like that. I like that a lot better.
Because everyone's a fucking fitness coach. Everyone with an Instagram and a PayPal account is a fitness coach nowadays.
That's true. That's very true. Once you put it in your bio, it becomes real.
Yeah, you're an entrepreneur just because you said it on Instagram. So yeah, that's me.
Okay. So, yeah, you know what? Let's just jump right in. You were just telling me about this package you were selling. So, like, how does that package work? You said it was like some mindset stuff, some health stuff, 3 months.
So, if it's cool with you, I'll just ground this for the listeners, just so they know who I am, why I'm a coach, and why I'm creating the programs I have.
Oh, you have a why?
Of course.
give me your why. No, I love it.
I just stumbled into the gym and was like, I like to do this.
That's what happened with me when I lost 200 pounds. What could I say?
Yeah, it's like, I saw some chicks, they were hitting on the trainer. I was like, oh, let's do this. No, so the basic backstory started when I was, okay, I'll put it like this. There's a lot of people right now who have gone through their childhood, just like me. They've learned by their parents or just by with the way the environment they were in, that they started medicating with food. That's what happened to me.
That's what happened to me too.
So whatever was wrong, I was entertaining myself with food. When I was watching cartoons, it was like just comfort food, right? I made plates and plates of like hot like sandwiches, like toasts, and just I stuffed my face for like 3-4 straight hours. So there was that. Then when I was sick, I was always encouraged to eat more. I mean, like, and when you're a kid, like, it all makes sense. Like, I mean, I get enjoyment for this. I feel bad, so I want to feel joy. Your brain connects the dots, and now you're conditioned for fucking life. So that was me. But I wasn't particularly fat. Up until so I think it would be 5th grade. I was a swimmer, so I had these brutal trainings where I would just swim for like 2 straight hours. By the end of the training, I had a headache from all the exhaustion. So there was that. And when I got home, so I had a giant appetite because of that. But I never got fat. I was always skinny. And once I stopped that, I got a passion for playing the trumpet. I stopped swimming, but the appetite stayed. So that's when old Chubster came out. The pounds just started like piling on, and for a while I didn't even like mind it because I didn't even realize. I was just like, no, I like food. I'm eating food. I'm good. So there. Excuse me. I need some water. Been talking all day. So yeah, so that was it. Didn't even bother me up until I was like 11, 12, around there. because that's when your hormones start kicking in, like start kicking in. You're like, she's cute, I'm chubby, I need to do something here, right? So that was the initial motivation, is like girls, right?
Yes.
And I started like kind of like doing everything under the sun trying to lose weight. Like, you may remember this, and some of the listeners, if you're older, you might remember who Mike Chang is. Six Pack Shortcuts.
Yeah.
You know who that is?
Yes, definitely.
So I was back in the day when his ads were everywhere. He's basically, so if those of you who don't know him, he used to have this product called Six Pack Shortcuts. He had his whole thing. I won't go into that. Basically, it was a lot of follow along YouTube videos, and he sold his whole thing. I didn't buy because I was 12, so I was just doing the free workouts at home. I was literally, I remember I was working out like 11 p.m. with some random like YouTube workout mix like typed into my YouTube search, and just playing that and hoping my parents don't wake up while I'm like grunting there, like with my like 10-pound dumbbells. So that was hilarious. But it was like, it was definitely something awesome, because it was starting to getting me into the habit of working hard, even though I wasn't getting much results. I've definitely lost some weight there, but like it was just like going from fat to skinny, right?
Mhm.
So nothing special there. But if, of course, I probably felt different about myself in that little short period. Um, in that time when I like opened up a little bit more, because like you start to see a little definition here and there, but not much. I actually got my first girlfriend there. See, English is second to me. And I got with her, and it was, the whole thing was, I didn't get it at first, because I was like, I'm not ripped. What's the point? Like, why do you like me? There was that whole thing in my head, which fucked me up.
Of
Um,
course.
okay, that happened. Um, then after that, the real like fitness transformation, which you can already see either on my Facebook or whatever you see me, um is what happened in high school later is, and I was playing the trumpet literally almost, I wanted to do it professionally. So I went to like high school dedicated to like musicians, where basically you have school in the morning till like 2 p.m., and after 2 p.m. till like sometimes till 10, you have music. You're practicing, you're in classes, you're in like theory classes, you're in like band practice, stuff like that.
Wow.
Literally, I was playing the trumpet on average between 3 and 6 hours per day.
Really?
Yeah, so that was going on, and that can get pretty stressful. Literally, you're working, so like in school, either practicing or in class. From I was getting up at like no, at 6, so I could be at school when it opened at 6:30, so I could practice till 8. Then I had class till 2. Then like in all the little breaks in between classes for music, I would practice. So literally, and then I would get home at like 10 p.m., and I was of course exhausted as fuck.
Yeah.
Um, and then it's like, okay, now I have to do homework. So our school was pretty hard to actually get through. And at that time, I was really dedicated, and I was just putting in the work. Maybe neglecting my fitness a little bit, and like having like the stress eating like kicking in again,
Of course.
like just medicating with food. Because geniuses, they had this like bakery right next to our school, and then that was like literally the school next to us was like a baking school, and
Oh
they made like
wow.
cookies and stuff like that, which their food is amazing, which is a problem because I like good food.
Of course.
And I come from like an, I would say, upper middle class family, so there was no like money problems. Like, of course, as a student they don't give you like 10K per month, but
Yeah.
I got by. I could afford food, of course.
Hmm.
um so I ate a lot of like cakes and stuff like that, just because I felt like I needed them just to get through everything. And by the end of it, like by the end of second grade, in high school, I was, just so you have orientation, because I think our school systems are different. um I was 16, 17 at the time, I think 17, and I've gained like 15 pounds over the course of the year, and I was not happy about it.
Yeah.
It really fucked with my self-esteem and stuff like that. And of course, when I noticed it, like after I've gained like 15 pounds, I was like, okay, I gotta do something about this. But I didn't like take it. I didn't take it that seriously. I was like yo-yo dieting for like a couple months, like 2 or 3 months.
I know what you mean.
I was like putting work, falling off the wagon, pulling in the work, falling off the wagon, like for a couple months. And I gained like a couple more pounds actually throughout the whole process. So I was like 20 pounds overweight at that point. And I'm saying overweight. I don't know what the technical definition is, but just over the weight I like to be at.
Of course.
So that would be 20 pounds over. And I remember one day it was like we got from school a little bit earlier than usual, and it was me and my friend walking home at like earlier at 8 p.m. And he was like, because he knew I was dieting. He was one of my best friends, and he was pretty into fitness also. He was more like street workout calisthenics.
Mm-hmm.
He like, because we were just walking, he looked at me, he like poked in my belly. He's like, yo dude, like you're dieting, when the fuck is this going away? And I'm like, he's like just like a buddy just rubbing it in, right?
Yeah.
Like it's tough love, but it's love. um and I played it off like, yeah, it's a work in progress kind of stuff, something along those lines.
Yeah, of course.
But like deep down, like you were like, I was like, he's kind of right. uh Not doing what I'm supposed to do. And then I went home. uh I I got in the shower, because it was after a long day, dried off, put on a towel, looked in the mirror, and dude, I don't like, I don't know how to describe that moment other than it just hit me all at once. I was like looking in the mirror, and I didn't see just the physical side of it, of me gaining 20 pounds, of me having a rounder face, just my belly and my tits were connected. It was terrible. Um, it was everything from that, and it was more of it. It was just frustration and just being sad about me letting myself down. It was more of that.
Yeah, I've been there.
And when it came to that, I just felt like, because I was, it was definitely affecting my other areas of life. It was like in that moment I realized that it was fucking with me able to concentrate when I was practicing. It was fucking with me when I was performing. It was more importantly, it was destroying my interaction with people, because I was like hiding, because I was like trying not to be as open, just
Very
not to be as,
self-conscious.
yeah, I was self-conscious as fuck.
Yeah.
I was, I felt judged. I'll put it like that. I felt like I thought that everyone was judging me because of the what happened over the last year, and the whole thought that broke the straw that broke the camel's back was me having the thought of, if I can take control of something as simple as my body and losing 20 pounds, how the fuck am I gonna do anything?
Yeah.
Like something as simple as that, and I can't even do that. That's not cool. And in that moment, it was like the rock bottom. Like, I'm angry. Let's fucking do this. I just went online. I didn't care if I had to pay for it. I got a coach. Um, I somehow found the money. Like paid through my mother's credit card or somehow, and gave her the money. It was an interesting. But I did what I had to do. I followed all the instructions of everything I got. Changed my eating habits completely, and how it worked out. It was totally different than what I was doing. And over the next 2.5, 3 months, I lost 21 pounds. And more than 21 pounds, I just felt, dude, like the feeling, as shallow as it may seem on the surface of losing 20 pounds, I felt so much more confident and just so much more belief in myself
Yeah,
after
man.
that. Of me just open, like when I was with talking with people, I would open up more. I would be more of that like happy-go-lucky, more the person I am right now.
Yeah.
Um, it was that. It was, I had more. I was able to. I believed in myself more in every area. That
Of
was probably
course.
the biggest thing. And when I noticed that, like other people noticed, of course, and it came down to me helping others after that, because they saw what happened with me and they were asking me for advice, and I was gladly just told them like, this is what I did. Here's the principles. Here's how you apply it. If you need anything more, let me know. And they got some of them got results, and I was like, that's pretty cool. And later on, I remember this was one of the first people I worked with. I was just trying to help someone out, like in the comments of a certain video on YouTube. It was just like a transformation video of someone, and there was this dude asking questions in the comments, and no one fucking replied in like 2 weeks. I'm like, what the fuck? He's asking a simple question. I like replied to him, like, yo, dude, just you have to do this. Like, you can totally add me on Facebook, and I can tell you more if you want. He added me on Facebook. We talked, and literally I didn't think much of it because, like most people, you give them advice, they forget it, right?
Yeah, of course.
In 2 months, the dude messaged me. He lost 44 pounds. I was like, shit,
How did that
because
feel?
my mind was fucking blown, man. Because like his whole thing, and I have a story about him. He was before that. He just gone through a massive like depression. He wouldn't talk to friends. He wouldn't talk to girls. He was failing at school. He was angry at the world. He was angry at himself. And him going through that, he he basically not just became a totally different person in terms of how he felt about himself, how he interacted with others. He got a girlfriend. That's the interesting part.
Yeah.
And he actually turned his grades around. He was doing amazing in school. And I mean, he gave some outlandish comments as a 16-year-old because he was younger than me. He was 16. He gave he was just so thankful about all of that, and I was like, wow, if I can do that just by giving someone advice on something I know and something I'm passionate about, like this is something I want to do.
Wow.
And that was how it all started. That was how I got the inspiration to then, right after high school, uh, I lost my passion for music just because the whole system, how it's set up, is just not for me.
Yeah.
Some people, if like that's their whole life and that's what they want to go to, I encourage whatever your dream is, go for it. Um, just not for me. I preferred fitness. I had a massive like drive to go for it. And
Mhm.
right out of high school, I started reading a lot of articles and like of course just keep educating myself. And I got a certification. So I was bartending between then, but I got a certification as a trainer. And my first client was one of my bartending so she was a coworker.
Yeah.
She was a coworker. She was preparing for a marathon. She needed to lose some weight and gain some strength. Like, sure. Um, and she gave me it was 180 euros per month, which is around 200 USD.
Yeah.
So Canadian, that's like 225 or something.
Canadian, it's
Uh,
like $4,000. No, I'm kidding.
that'd be a crazy conversion. Um, then I'm a millionaire. Just kidding. So that was how I started. And for those 180 per month, for me training her for 3 times a week, I was like, my mind, my mind was like, if I literally think about this, before I was working for 3.8 euros per hour.
3.8?
Yes, so literally like $4
Huh.
per hour, and to go from that to working, so that's 12 hours per month, and me getting 180 out of that, my mind was fucking blown. Like, if that's possible, like
Yeah.
just from an income perspective, not even just the fulfillment and what I got out of it, because I had that passion in me already. And I was like, I will not get a job ever fucking again, a
Of
normal
course.
job anywhere.
Of course.
Like,
Yeah, yeah. Your passion was providing for you. There's nothing better, right?
it's crazy. Like, it's like the dream, right? Do what you love and money will come, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Happened. Um, and right now, just most of my clients after that, like for the next like 3 months after that, I grinded my face off just to get clients because I was learning ads, I was learning marketing, I was learning everything. While of course trying to not let my stress eating habits get the best of me.
Of course.
Um, which, even though you're a fitness coach and you know all of this shit, believe it or not, guys, we struggle with this almost as much as you guys.
Yeah, of course, man.
Like, I'm dialed in right now, and it almost never happens, but it's always there. So it's always like that. And Colin, you can tell me if this ever happened to you. Like you always know that if you let go for too long, it's gonna bite you in the ass.
Oh man, I did that. Man, I got ripped. I had like an 8-pack. I was down to like 180 pounds, and I let myself go until I was back to like 260. And then I thought of myself when I was a kid, and I'm like, man, I'm almost 300 fucking pounds again. I'm like, what the fuck just happened to me? And I was so upset with myself. And I had that mirror moment that you were talking about, and I was just like, I'm like, I can't do this. Like, this is crazy. And it was much harder at that point to get back into shape because I was older. I was like 26, 27 at that time. And yeah, it was just harder. And I got back into good shape. My body composition went back to like a really good body composition and everything. But
Mm.
man, when you let yourself go, it's not just bad for your body. It's also just disappointing in yourself, you
It,
know?
dude, this is one thing. This is why I don't call myself a fitness coach. Because mindset and your mental health is a direct representative of your physical health.
Yep, definitely.
100% guarantee. If your mindset, if your way of, if how you feel day to day, if how you view yourself, if how you view the world, of your life, all these things, if that's fucked up, you don't have well, I'll put it like this: you don't have a flying chance
Yeah.
to either get or stay in shape.
Yeah,
No way. There
100%.
is no. You will not sustain it. It is
100%.
because here's one thing I struggled with this for like it was like 2 years before I realized what the fuck was happening. It was like I couldn't stick to a diet, which I made because I know all the principles that work and I know my body. I made it as effortless as possible for me to stick to the diet. I put all the like if it fits your macros approaches, as many vegetables so I feel full all the time, enough water, enough sleep, enough time to de-stress. It would, and I couldn't stick to it. And think about like all these conditions, like you have everything in place, you have time to de-stress, you have enough sleep, everything. Like literally, you should be like a fucking bodybuilder at that point. Like that's what they have to create for themselves, so it's like optimized, right?
Yeah, I know, I know.
And I wasn't able to stick to a fucking diet. I'm like, what the fuck's happening? And it was because my mindset and my life in general wasn't making me happy, and it was always triggering that stress eating response in my head, in my body. And there was no way I could stick to it. There was no way. I tried like for 2 years. I was yo-yoing between 154 and around 160, 167 ish, somewhere around there.
Yeah, yeah.
And I couldn't like get more ripped. I couldn't get more jacked. It was just fucking with me.
Yeah.
And that's when I learned that the power of taking care of your mind is so much more important than just knowing how to eat and how to
Okay,
work out.
perfect. Because this is all about mindset and everything. So I'm so glad we got to this. So like that brought about the shift. You saw like how did you what made you realize that your mind was the thing, was the obstacle that was keeping you from what you wanted? Like how did you come to that? Like did you read something? Did you read watching something on YouTube? Like what brought about that shift?
So you could say it came out of I can't pinpoint the specific thing because there's just so much stuff I consume on a daily basis, not related to drugs.
Of course.
Like just like random videos and courses and books. Like I always have like either on my iPhone or I have books on my desk. I have Audible on my phone. I have like YouTube videos converted to MP3s on my Dropbox. There's a ton of stuff. I just feed my mind all day. Um, which sometimes can be a little bit neurotic, which I also have to be aware of. But that aside, I always provide my mind with other like viewpoints and information that will help me from people who are smarter than me, right?
Of course.
And what do you continually find this pattern of people not knowing what they have to do but not doing it,
Of
and
course.
not being, and them expressing them not being able to do it, like there's something out of their control that's stopping them. Always comes down to their mind. It was like either in a program or something that I heard this, or I just came to the realization that, yo, dude, this is happening to you too right now, right? Because
Yeah.
like I was in decent shape, but I wasn't in peak shape. And when that was happening, because I was like, because like one of my mentors, Bedros Koulian, he says he's like a business coach. He's like been in the, what was like the entrepreneur uh top 15 fastest growing franchises, something like that. Um,
Really
and then he's been in the Forbes 500 twice in a row.
amazing.
So he's a big dude. He's like behind a lot of the marketing campaigns of a lot of companies. And what he says is, because he teaches like people how to be high performance. Also, he says that good is the enemy of great. Like I was trying to break out of that, like good, just good, and
Yeah.
I was trying to get to be great. Because like
Yeah.
you can't inspire people just being average or just
No,
being a
you
little bit above average.
you have
You got boom. You got like when they see you, there has to be that thing that they're just like, I want that.
yeah.
And I was trying to get that just for the reason, because I'm so passionate. I was I'll say like this. I'm never content with how I look. I like how I look, but there's always improvements. Like there's always things. If you're a high achiever and you're listening to this, you know you can always improve. You want to improve, because if I'm not growing, I'm dying. That's my mindset.
100%. The
Yeah,
standards, right? You just have higher standards than the
yeah.
usual people.
It's just I feel different.
Yeah.
If I stagnate, like my mental picture of stagnation is me smoking weed and doing nothing.
Yeah,
Literally.
man. We talked about that last time.
Yeah,
Yeah. That's
weed is an
exactly what was
but
happening to me.
that's what was happening to me. I was like in that like cycle, and when I realized that the reason why, and I realized it was subconscious. I looked at, okay, so what is am I ignoring in other areas of life? Because I've tried everything in fitness to break through. What am I ignoring somewhere else that's sabotaging me?
Ah, yes.
It's always somewhere else.
Yes.
It's like the thing you're trying to ignore is always the thing that's is gonna help you break through.
And it
Always.
comes yeah, and it comes out somewhere else in the stress eating and this or that. Yeah,
And
definitely.
this is why I coach people on other stuff than just fitness. Because
Yeah.
it's not, if you're stuck in fitness, 90 90 to 99% of the time, it's not about your strategy.
Man, I love that you're saying this right now because I'm going through that right now. I've been like yo-yoing between like 220 and 240, and like right now I'm like 235, and I'm like, fuck, man, what's going on? And yeah, you're 100% right. You're 100% right.
And for me, it was social life. Because
Mm,
like with a lot of fitness people, you'll find they try to isolate themselves. Isolate yourself from parties, isolate yourself from places where there's good food, isolate yourself as an entrepreneur. Also, you try to isolate yourself a lot because you're working,
yeah,
you're trying to put yourself in an environment of you're learning a lot, you're trying to avoid negative influences, like the people who, like, most of your friends as an entrepreneur, as a high performer, anyone who's trying to achieve more in your life, it's a paradox, but most of the people who you love are gonna pull you down.
of course, instinctually, but they're trying to pull you to a safe place where they
Yeah,
think it's safe for you.
yeah. It's just, and like, even if they're not doing it actively, just passively by you being around them, your get your mindset is, it's an average of of the mindsets of the people you interact with.
Of course, yeah, top
So like,
5.
be it through books, be it through virtually, be it through in person, and in person is the most powerful, right? So that's why people who are more in the gym physically, they usually experience more results than people who just work out at home.
I always say that to people, man. Anytime somebody's like, I'm going to work out at home, I'm like, man, just go to the gym. Like, just create the ritual, because it's like,
You'll love it. You fall in love with it when you're
I
there.
100%.
When you're at home, you're just like, I could literally be watching TV right now. It's like 5 feet away. There's just you're setting yourself up to fail if you're doing that. And what I was doing, so when to circle back, are me isolating myself was because I like to grow in every area of my life.
Hmm.
It was fucking with me on a subconscious level that my relationships were not growing. I was not developing new ones. I was not growing my social skills. I just wasn't active in my social life
Yeah.
because I was like, no, I'm gonna grind it out. I'm gonna stick to this diet. I'm gonna work out every day twice. It's this whole thing, right? And once I realized that, I'm like, shit. I literally, for me to break free in my fitness, I have to break free in my social life. And for the next like 2 months, I think after that, I think I party twice a week, if not more, every week. Um, and like there's always like I'm an extreme guy, like an immersion kind of.
Yeah.
So if I was not partying, I was out with for coffee or something with friends or something. I was just like immersing myself in like social interactions and like going through courses and books on it. It's like a lot of shit. I just immerse myself into anything.
And like, what happened when you did that?
Dude, um the breakthroughs I experienced, the amount of happiness I felt was totally different. I just apart from losing my virginity, that was that's a hilarious part of it. Was that I was under 20, just so you guys know.
Yeah.
Just kidding. So there was that. For me, it was just a part of my life that really mattered to me, and I was ignoring it. One thing I preach always is balance. Not balance in terms of what most people think of balance, because if I ask my mom what balance is, she'd tell me to chill like 8 hours of the day. She'd
Yeah.
tell me just, you're working so hard, chill. I'm like, I feel bored chilling.
Yeah, of
Um,
course.
Most of the time, like if you want to do more, you're like, I'd rather be reading a book right now. I'd rather be learning. I'd rather be creating something. But like, okay, there's a whole thing of being neurotic, but you need to be not just focusing on one area of your life, because otherwise it gets so fucking stale. Ugh, it's just bad for you. And once I was like getting that full circle, like social life, fitness, business at the same time, things just took off. I was, it was just, I felt it was hard to maintain, like just trying going so hard at anything, like for a long period of time. Once I find like a sweet spot with things, because like you're never gonna totally stay in balance forever. Like there's always gonna be like ups and downs.
Yeah, that's
When I was in like that middle ground where like my business was good, I was in very good shape and like progressing, and I was meeting new people, building my social skills, being a better communicator. It just the level of joy I felt it's unreal. Like just like it was so much easier to stick to my diet. It was like I was progressing my workouts faster because there was the thing is there's less stress, right? Because my perception of stress is very different from a perception of someone who just is okay with a 9 to 5, staying inside, watching TV 5 hours a day. Someone like that, smoking weed, eating pizza every day. Someone like that has totally different value system than me.
of course.
And what stresses me out is something else that stresses him out. So me not growing in all areas of my life is stressing me the fuck out, while he's like, I'm good. I'm baked. I'm good.
Yeah, you don't know what you don't know, right?
Yeah, but it's also like I just believe that most people are not wired the same way we are.
Yeah, definitely. Like again, like if it's like as for me, like Like I wasn't wired this way until I saw somebody who was like, as in like a motivational speaker, and like I started watching people and like really delving deep into YouTube and my iPhone and everything. And then once I knew that that was available, then it changed everything. Like I had to be like that versus how I was. Like I knew I
But it
had
was
to.
already in you.
That's the thing. I guess so.
I'll ask you this: how many people have seen the same things you've seen and have turned their heads while you stayed watching?
Yeah, yeah, that's the thing, right? It's what makes you pursue, because I have a friend who actually told me about Tony Robbins, like, cuz I didn't know about him at all, and he told me about him, and like now I'm like dedicated to like watching him and like, listening to what he has to say and implementing in my life. Meanwhile, he doesn't even really care about it like all that much. Like it's
It's
weird.
different. It's
Yeah.
different.
Yeah.
It's just different value systems, man. It's all good. It's all good. You just gotta, if you think about that friend or anyone else who's like that, because I know your friend specifically and what he does and stuff like that, but
Of course.
um, a lot of people just they will be very they're just okay with different things than we are. Like if I tell like, because here's the thing, like let's say you have an ambition to make a lot of money, right? So let's
Yeah.
say you want to build a $500,000 a year company.
Mhm.
Let's say if you have that ambition, you tell that to the average person, 9 times out of 10 they will be like, "What do you need? What do you need that money for? Why would you want to do that? What's the point?" They're gonna be like, "What's the point?"
Yeah, of course.
And you tell that to someone like me or someone else who actually like is ambitious, they're gonna be like, "Fuck yeah!"
Of course.
They're gonna be asking you about it. What's it gonna be? Like like we get fired up about this shit, and others are like, "Why would you want to work so hard for something that? Why do you even need that?"
Yeah, that's 100% true. A lot of people like me myself, when I first started buying camera equipment, I had this one friend who kept saying like, he's like, there's not a lot of money in it, and like you're spending all this money, and he's like, how are you going to make the money back that you're spending? And I'm like that doesn't, I'm like, it'll come back in another way. Like I'm not like, you know what I mean? Like you can't expect the money to come and then buy the thing. You
Did you
can't
ask?
you can't expect the tree to grow and then plant the seed. Like it doesn't make
Yeah,
any sense. It just doesn't
you
work
gotta
like
put
that.
in you gotta put in the wood before you get a fire.
Exactly. I like that one better.
I heard that from a mentor not that long ago, but I like it.
You know what you're reminding me of right now? I was watching an interview with Tom Bilyeu and David Goggins, and David Goggins talks about detesting mediocrity. He's like, you have to detest it. You have to stay away from it. It's
Yeah,
because he's like, it's contagious.
it
He's like,
is.
it's really
It
contagious, and
fucking
you gotta just move away from it and really aspire to be like uncommon amongst uncommon people.
dude. Like I've always been the weird guy. If
Yeah.
if if I think back to it, I'm always the guy that stands out, and it's also down to like my kind of like my personality type, but part of it's also, I won't say that I do it intentionally. I just find enjoyment in it because like it's authentic. I am different. We're all different in our own way, but like if I remember back to high school, there was one person I connected with very very well, and he's also like he went to study law. He's like more into like making deals and stuff like that. Like
Yeah.
we would talk about entrepreneurship. We would talk about entrepreneurship all the time. Meanwhile, anyone else, they would look at me like weird, like, why are you are like, why is this important? Like, isn't music like everything too?
Yeah.
And at the same time, if you think about it, even if I was to go into music, like, you're a fucking entrepreneur. Think about it. You're a one man business.
Yeah, 100%.
If you're a
100%.
musician, like you gotta know how to sell yourself to the people. It's because like most people think it's just politics, and that's sales. That's entrepreneurship. That's like dude. There's people who you would say suck at playing, who are making millions of dollars making fucking YouTube videos for music.
Yep, 100%. Because they're not good.
How
They might not be good in the theory sense of music, but they're good at teaching it. They're good at selling what they teach, right?
it's like NLP guys and Tony Robbins.
Yeah, 100%, man.
They hate him. They fucking hate him
Yes, every single one I've met absolutely detests Tony Robbins.
because they're like, he doesn't have the proper qualifications. I'm like, well, he makes fucking billions. Shut the fuck up, and he helps millions of people. Who did you help?
Yeah, exactly.
Think
Exactly.
about it. Like he probably the guy who'd be telling you that would probably have helped like 50 people in his life if he's older, and Tony's probably helped like over, I don't know. I have no fucking idea. Like probably 1%
He's
of
probably
the world.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's coming like close to like at least like 200 million people that he's helped, maybe more.
Shit.
Like at least. I
Not
mean,
that.
he feeds like 100,000 families on Thanksgiving, and then all the people he helps through his work, all the people he employs, like it's
And
boundless.
think of that limiting belief. If he would stop him not having the proper qualifications,
Yeah, yeah. It's so
how
funny that you
fucked
say
up
that.
would that be?
Yeah, it's so funny that you say that because I was in an interview with somebody else, Brandon V, and he was talking about that before our interview started because I was telling him some of my goals, and he's like, "Do you think that education would help you at all, like getting the proper credentials?" And I'm like, honestly, like no. And he's like, good. He's like, credentials mean nothing. He's like, if you think back to when like when it even started, he's like, it had to be somebody who had no credentials giving somebody the credentials, like when they were
It's
invented.
a
You know what I mean?
business. Think about it like that.
Exactly, exactly. And that's exactly what he said. He's like, it's just a big business. He's like, so never worry about credentials. He's like, just worry about results. That's it.
Yeah. It's an interesting
100%.
thing because, like, here in Slovenia, the certification I got, when I got it, I'm like, this was not worth a fucking grand. This was like, and like, I hope you guys see the fucking recording of this. Your program is not worth a grand. It is not. I would rather pay a personal trainer for a couple for I don't know how many sessions that would net me, depends on the trainer. But for that money, I would learn more.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I hear that. I definitely understand that. It's
I mean, it's like think it just I've looked up the company. I don't know how long it was. It's under 15 years. Like
uh,
they've been around, and like they're charging me a grand for like weekend courses for me to get a certification, for me to learn shit I already know, for like some cheap ass textbook that they probably just copied from somewhere else. Like,
100%.
no,
I mean, when I lost 200 pounds, when I went from like 350 down to 150, and then years later, I got certified as a personal trainer. I learned way more from losing the 200 pounds than I did
yes, you
from
did.
the course. Like so much more.
Was it like a is it like a national certification? What you get?
It's called CanFit in
Can't
Canada.
Okay,
CanFit Pro.
yeah.
Um, and like everybody gets it and it's very easy to get, but like I learned so much more from like what I had to do. And also for me, my mother was a bodybuilder.
Oh
Um,
shit.
yeah, when I was younger. So like just her
Do you like
walking.
bikini or
Well, I mean, back then they didn't have the.
did you compete? That's what I mean.
Yeah, yeah, she was competing. She was very, very jacked, ripped, and yeah,
Mm,
she did that for years. And she placed. She placed pretty much every single competition she went into.
that's amazing.
Yeah, yeah. So like just from like losing the 200 pounds and having her and being like, hey, what exercises I can do? Like, it was way more than any certification that I've come across thus far.
Yeah.
But let me for your microphone, can you like move it away from your mouth a little bit?
Yeah.
Not.
Is it too much like boof? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Is this
exactly.
better?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You
Yeah, yeah,
hear me
that's it.
okay?
Yep,
I good.
definitely. But
Don't
what I wanted to talk about is when you're saying that you were doing the music, that shows a lot of discipline. Like
Oh yeah.
a lot of
Oh yeah.
discipline because you're
That
like
was a lot.
playing, you're going to school, and then like you're literally playing all day. Um,
Dude,
did that
like
discipline transfer into like the fitness and like what you do now?
yes, definitely. It was one of the things. And here's the thing that I actually learned from. So I took the discipline from music and applied it to fitness,
Yeah.
which was awesome. And then the opposite happened. I took the principles from fitness and applied it to music. And here's the thing. I had during my years, so during the time where I was like gaining all the fat and all the things when I was very stressed, I came to a point where I was starting to not be as good at music as I know I could have been. And it came down to a couple things just physically, like because with trumpet there's like certain muscles around muscle is called like musculature,
Must.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
around your like mouth,
yeah.
that
Hmm.
like it gets tired and all these things, right? It's like, and I applied like training principles to my trumpet playing. I was like, okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm not just gonna hammer it every single day. I'm gonna be like, okay, one day I just go really fucking hard, and one day it's a little bit easier, still do the things I have to do, but just take it a lot easier, let it recover, and then blast it again the next day, take a day to recover. I applied that to trumpet playing. I met up with my teacher, actually, like 4 or 5 months ago. I told him this, and he's
Yeah.
like, "Fuck, that makes sense. I'm gonna try that." Um, that's how I went from almost failing the trumpet in between, because like I started off good, then I started failing, and after that I blew up. He said I could have gotten into the academy and just went on into a professional career, but I didn't have passion for it at that
Wow.
point. But yeah, it would the discipline. If I look just putting the discipline for the trumpet into fitness, it was definitely a good transfer. Because like just putting in like 5 hours per day, man, you get disciplined.
Yeah, that's really cool. So it's like, and also like going back to like when we were talking about your why and everything, it seems like the providing value was a big thing for you because like you helped that one guy and then like, and like you kind of got a passion for it through that. So is
Yeah,
that something that you like still take in to your business model now, providing value?
of course, dude. Um,
Why? If we could talk about why, just because there's a lot of people who may be watching, and I would love to just get your take on like why providing value is so important.
so from a personal perspective, it's like this. Think of all the people that you've exchanged, you've trusted them, you've done business with them, you've bought stuff from them, you've taken their advice, stuff like that. They have always been overflowing with value. They've always given you extra. They've given you knew that they were here to help you, and you knew that because they gave you more than you expected or you actually were wanted. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Like if you bought a course from them, you got more than you expected. If you watched a video from them, you learned more than you expected. They just went the extra step to make sure that you got as much out of the interaction, out of the relationship as possible.
Yeah.
Like literally, um, that was one of the first mentors I have had in dating or like in social, like when I was learning like social dynamics and stuff like that. There's a certain coach. He's not a coach for dating anymore. He's more into marketing and stuff like that right now.
Hmm.
But his whole thing was always over delivering. He would say it. A good marketing tactic: tell people you over deliver. Um, like because he did, and no one would deny it. He would give you an ebook with like I don't know, like on the sales page, like four extra bonuses, and you wouldn't get just four extra bonuses. You would get like fucking 25 bonuses. Like
Wow.
he didn't care, and his free stuff was better than most people's paid stuff, which was crazy to me. He would send out like 2,500 to 4,000 word emails for free,
Re-
teaching
really?
you stuff that you would not find this shit in other people's ebooks.
Really?
He was all up in it, and right now he doesn't do that anymore just because most people will not read the 4,000 page email, four
Ye-
thousand word email.
That's true. That's
That's
very
a whole
true.
other discussion about attention
Yeah.
spans.
Things have
um
changed in that regard.
yeah, it's different, but back then it was fire. Like literally sometimes go into my inbox and search out his old emails and read
Yeah.
the shit out of them because they're like reports. It's
Really?
crazy. Yeah. So I got that from him, and also just my natural instinct is just to give. I would literally, if my financial needs were taken care of, I would coach for free. I don't care.
Ah, that's really cool that you say that because I was interviewing this guy who's built like 2 8-figure businesses, and that was the thing that he said. He's like, you got to find that thing that you do for free. He's like, and then make that like tailored to your lifestyle that you want, and like make that like your business.
Who was the person you were interviewing? I'm curious.
His name's Tom Ness.
Tom,
He was
dude,
co-founder.
he works with Kinobody.
Yeah, yeah, he does.
Yeah, Tom's a cool guy. He's been on a couple of his podcasts.
Oh, you know Tom? I didn't know that.
Not personally, not personally. Because like here's the thing, like here's the thing. As a content creator, you probably know this. If not yet, you will. People think they already know you. People feel like you already are their friend, even though you guys have never spoken, which is crazy, but it's true.
Yeah, it's true. That's the beautiful thing about the internet. The odd
It's
and beautiful thing.
Yeah, it can be freaky. You're like Florian, and they're like acting like they're your best friend for like 3 years. I'm like, who
but
are
it,
you?
but it's not even an act, right? Because like they get so much
No,
context from the content that
they
you put
feel
up.
it because you're being authentic into the camera, and they're
Mm-hmm.
spending like hours listening to your podcasts. They feel like they're
100%.
spending time with you.
Yeah, 100%. hundred
Yeah,
percent.
so yeah, that's why I know Tom. Because I used to follow Kino Body a lot. He was one of the people that inspired me for fitness.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
You were telling me Grego Gallagher.
he's a cool guy. And yeah, that's why I know Tom because Tom was working with him pretty early, I think.
Yeah, yeah. They like they got together like right at the beginning of things.
I know it was. I think it's like dates back to like 2014, 2013, or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah. He told me the whole story. So like, yeah, that was one thing that he kept talking about, like finding the thing that you do for free and not doing things solely for money. Doing it for the lifestyle that you want to live.
Yeah,
You know.
it's
So
definitely. I actually want to add to that because like when you mentioned lifestyle and building it around that and what you want to do.
yeah,
Um, if any business owner listening to this, you should do the same for your business. And I'm not just in terms of what you do. Like, oh, I love coaching people. Okay, that's cool. Um, but also the aspects of your business that you don't enjoy. You can like if you're good at what you do and it produces results and people want to pay good money for it, outsource the other shit.
yeah,
Why would you do this? Like if I look, I'm not the best technical guy. I literally would if I were to code the website, it would look like Mario Brothers.
yeah.
Um, and that would be a compliment. So I outsource that shit. Like I outsource that. I'm gonna outsource doing ads because I'm not an analytics guy by far. That's not for me. But I love selling and I love coaching and I love creating content. Those are three things I would do every day if I don't need money, I'm gonna do that. Um, so I'm doing those things. The rest, hand them off,
Yeah.
right? Because like that's like just like Tom probably said, he probably does the things that he just loves, and he has a team to do the other stuff.
100%. I mean, that's why he teamed up with Greg, right? Like Greg was doing the thing that he was good at. Tom came and did what he was good at, and then they just kind of came together.
Yeah.
But it's good that you just touched on that because like what I want to ask is towards habits, right? And since
Yep.
you're like in the fitness mindset and all that different
Sure.
kinds of realms, what kind of habits did you have to adopt in order to get where you are now? Since we're talking about like you had like outsourcing things and stuff like that, like what habits did you have to adopt to get to this point?
So first, in terms of fitness,
Sure.
okay. So for me, I started off very basic. It would be right now if I remember something a mentor of mine said is you need to take a motivation shower every day. Does that make sense? Like just like you take a shower, otherwise you're a smelly bastard. Sorry. But just like you take a normal shower, you need to take a motivation shower. You need to get a hit of motivation every day. Um, be it back then, it was like watching, literally typing into YouTube motivation, like something, and
Yeah.
something, a video popped up, and you watched it of some like random dude like in a hoodie on the football field, just, and then the speech of fucking Rocky or what was the guy in the background, something like that,
Yeah.
or Elliot Halls or someone just talking. That was how what I did every day. Like the hardest days, I flipped on something like that,
Hmm.
and I would just brainwash myself with positive mindsets of people like that. And now I do it through other things like podcasts and stuff, and books and courses. Like just in surround myself in an environment of people who are better than me or are teaching me better things. That's like one thing I constantly keep up, and if I don't do it, I sink into a depression always
Yeah.
because I get sucked into what other people are doing.
Yeah.
And what other people are doing are outside of that door. They're watching ski jumps and stuff like that, and they're stuffing their face with. I mean, my family's not fat, but like just generally, if I were to eat that way, because I have a giant appetite, I would be fat.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's where I would be. That's what I would be doing if I were to do what others do. If I look at one of my old part of the environment, just like I said, is people, right? And I also right now I'm cutting out as many people as possible that are not supporting me.
Good. Good for you, man.
And thank you. It's hard as fuck, and that's
Definitely.
why I have a hard time saying this. But I still don't. I'm not comfortable even selecting what he is right now. But my neighbor, I'll say like that,
Yeah.
who I hang out with very, at least I party with him at this point. Um, we were very good friends for the last since I was 5. Uh, which is why it's so uncomfortable for me. But then that guy is not going anywhere in his life.
Yeah.
He's got a construction, not construction. Like he works like a like in the back part of the store. What do you call that? Like where they have all the supplies.
Yeah. Like stocking,
Stuff,
stock
yeah, stuff like that.
shelves. Yeah.
Yeah, similar to that. It's like he drives a little thing around with the crates and that kind of stuff.
Oh, like a factory job. He's like a
Yeah,
factory worker, like
similar like
forklift,
that. Similar like that. Yeah,
order packer.
yeah. So he's like that. He lives with his parents. He is either he's sleeping or he's eating shit food and on the computer playing games.
Yeah.
Which I have no problem with any of that activity by itself in moderation. But like every day, all day, no good. So he's not going anywhere, and like I'm trying to cut out as many of those people as possible, because in the long run, they're not going to be there with you. They're not going to understand you as much as they love you, and that's why it's hard for me because I know he cares for me,
Of
right?
course. Of course.
He's always been there for me, supporting me, no matter how different I am, no matter how he doesn't understand exactly what I'm doing. He tries. I won't say he tries to, but he's still supportive, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Um, but just even despite that, there's people in your life, you listening to this right now, that are just gonna have to go. It's either them or your dreams.
That's a very, very good way of looking at it, because like it's all we always talk about that. I mean, just people in like the motivational and like mindset realm, like you're the sum of the 5 people that you're around the most, and sometimes other people won't align with your dreams and your hopes, and they don't really serve the kind of life that you're trying to build for
They don't.
yourself.
They really don't.
So you have to step away, and that's not the worst thing in the world. And it's not to say that your friend won't improve. Like maybe one day he'll kick in and he'll be like, I have to like do better, and all of a sudden he'll start doing whatever it is that speaks to him,
I
but
can only hope. I'll say that.
exactly, because like right now you're not at a point where you can pull him up, because you're trying
Yeah.
to build up yourself, right? So
Yeah.
It's
And the
so
thing is,
good that you're realizing it at this age, man.
and
Really,
and
really good.
and like, here's the thing, how I think about it, right? Even if a year from now I look back at me cutting him out, or at least significantly reducing my time with him, um, and I'm in like a 10x like better position than where I am right now, it still doesn't guarantee he'll change.
Of course not.
Yeah, and that's why I like the idea of pulling other people up. Sometimes you cutting them out is the best thing you can do for them,
Yeah, exactly.
because
100%.
it's like that pain of rejection wakes them the fuck up.
Yep. Or it
That's
doesn't. Or it
or
doesn't,
does
and
yeah, but
then you
it's a
still get
better
to live
chance than you saying it's okay.
and it still gives you a chance to live your life. Like you're going to live your
Yeah,
life
you're
whether
gonna
he
be better.
changes or not, right? And you're responsible to yourself first. And one day, if all of a sudden he's like, "Hey, man, I gained 50 pounds, and I know you do fitness stuff, and I want to change," like maybe you'll be able to reconnect on that level. You know, like you
Of
never
course.
know. It's always possible, but you're doing the right thing. Trust me. I when I was your age, or I was a little older, I think I was like 23. I went from having like a lot of acquaintances and a lot of friends to having three, and
Dude, right
it stayed like
now,
that until I was 30.
dude,
So
right now I have so I don't even know how to count them. Because it's I'll say like this. Very locally, so like 15 minutes away from my home is a guy who is also an entrepreneur who quit his job not long ago, like last year.
yeah,
We hang out. We're going to Belgrade in Serbia for New Year's with him.
yeah,
Um, he's one of the rare entrepreneurs I hang around with around here, along with my clients, because they're all entrepreneurs.
there you go.
There's that, and then there's in the capital, which is like 45 minutes away from where I am. There's my buddy who I'm going to be working with, who has a marketing agency, and one of my best buddies is also one of his employees. He's a copywriter for him. So them and the mastermind they run, which I'm a part of, which I spoke at, um, and the people there. So there's like seven-ish people, but like basically my two buddies from the marketing agency and this guy here are like my top three here locally. Most of my best friends, if believe it or not, are in the U.S. or Canada.
Wow.
Yeah, they're just not they're just not here.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Which makes socializing for me interesting, because like I have some very good friends here who like when we see each other it's like we never like didn't see each other,
Of
but like
course.
there could be like 2 3 4 months we don't even talk.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And but so there I have that connection with them, but they just know I'm working. they
Yeah, exactly.
just know I'm that dude that just he's just gone for a couple of months, then he
Yeah.
comes back and it's like the same as before.
Yeah, and that's those are the relationships that you're gonna keep up, and that you're gonna like grow, and like you'll meet other people who align with what you're doing, and it's all good. It's really good. I'm actually so glad that you're doing that at this age,
Thanks.
because it's not easy. It's not easy at all, especially when they're such close friends. It's very hard.
Yeah, I've actually had I just started therapy last Monday.
Really?
Yeah, there's some shit because like here's the thing. I said mindset is fucking important, and a lot of shit that stops here is subconscious. There's a lot more shit in here that I have to work through,
There you go.
and I realized that. And she pointed out to me because she was asking me, just like it was like the first session, like general kind of like overview. She asked me if I have any people in my life that I have like a support circle or anything, like people who I can go to and talk to if for just like in general.
Yeah.
And I realized at that point that I've built like this circle of like even if it's international, like digital, of people who are just I could talk to them if my fucking mother died, I could talk to them about it.
Yeah.
Like if it's definitely interesting. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention one guy. He lives like on the other side of the country right now, but also one of my best buddies. When I was going through my breakup with my ex, when was that? July. I was probably on the phone with him like every day, just like
Wow.
for hours, just like keeping me. afloat.
So then, like with everything that we just talked about, would you say like a support system is really important in terms of keeping your mind
Yes.
like in a good place?
So if we look at what, just like I said, if you have a problem in one area of life, um, first of all, your environment, the people around you, not just affect you, how you think and stuff like that, but if they don't understand you, you're fucked. You have no one to go to for help,
Mm-hmm.
for empathy, because they just can't understand. It's not their fault. It's not like they can't. It's not like they don't want to, but
Mm-hmm.
my mom can't understand the feeling of me losing, let's say, 10K in a business deal,
Yeah.
or like something like I like some software fucks up and I lose like 20K that I could have made. Like she won't understand that.
Of course.
But if I talk to my buddy who has the marketing agency, he's like he can totally understand that, and he can first of all offer me advice, and second, empathy.
Yeah.
Like
Definitely.
there's that's very important. And to find people like that, I would say I have a formula which I just naturally use, and it's just be the damn most authentic version of yourself with anyone you talk to. And
Yeah.
I could literally go to a bar right now, talk to someone I've never talked to. Like I don't know them, but I just strike up a conversation with them. I could be talking about like one of the deepest things I have in my mind in 5-10 minutes. I don't care. Like I have that vulnerability to me, because if you want to connect with someone else like that, you need to do that first. And like in NLP, they call it going first. So like if I wanted to, Mr. Cummings over here, to open up to me about, or at least be open to opening up to me in some way, let's say sharing your struggle with fitness or whatever, I wouldn't ask you to do it. Like sometimes you would say some people would, some people won't. But
Yeah.
if I were to first start off with my story and be as vulnerable as I was right before that, this when I was talking about my story, you would probably have no problem, or you right now probably have no problem sharing your own experiences.
Of course. Of course.
And
I didn't know that's called going first in LLP. I had no idea.
it, I cannot confirm it. I've heard it.
Okay.
I've heard it's called that. So I've not read it in the book. So all you guys hate Tony Robbins, sorry, you probably hate me right now. It's
Uh,
interesting how that works.
but that's interesting. Vulnerability. So
Yeah.
just in terms of mindset, you think that's an important part of not selling, but just being your most authentic self. It's being vulnerable.
So when I okay, so what we as entrepreneurs understand under sales, just so I tell for the people who are not entrepreneurs or in sales,
Hmm.
when we say sales, you guys should just hear communication. That's all you should hear.
Yeah.
Because whether there's money exchanged or there's feelings and a relationship, like values being exchanged, it's the same. So it's just communication in general, and like friendships and social interactions. Vulnerability, the way you want others to open up, you should be able to open up first. Always,
Yeah.
always. And
Definitely.
I will not. I can just by my just by a status in an environment or on a call or whatever. Some people will open up, some people won't. But I exponentially increase my chances of being connecting deeply with people.
Hmm.
If
Yeah.
tell me if the mic is good. Um,
Yeah. Try and
it,
keep it a little.
yeah, on the side.
Yeah.
So you
You paused. I wonder if the recording's going to show the pause too. For some reason, it has paused. Let's figure this out. Oh, and he was going deep too. I wonder if I can still hear it in the recording. You're frozen. I'm going to have to write to him on Facebook. Well, if everybody can see me still, he just said wait.
Okay, I'm back.
Hey, how you doing?
I don't know. I don't know what happened. So yeah, when I was talking about girls, so you cannot expect a woman to show you how she feels about you
Yeah,
if you don't do the same first.
100%, 100%, and
And
yeah,
it would be dumb to expect that, but instinctually you just want to hear it from that other person first. That's how they feel also.
yeah.
So if you do that yourself, so like this is what I've been reading on, and I don't know if you've heard this. This is kind of like an underground thing.
What's that?
Um, is do you know what mode one is?
Mode one? No, I've never heard of that.
So this is some people, if the listener knows this, they know what I'm talking about. But it's
Oh, he froze again. See, this is why I don't do it live, because I'm going to be able to edit this really, really well. Well, not really well, but good enough. Honestly, editing is not my strength. I can be honest with everybody. It's just not. I get terrible anxiety when I edit videos. Like, it's terrible. It's like way too much of a weight. But when I edit my own content, I don't have that at all. So it's very weird the way that works. Again, I don't know what's happening. For some reason, his internet's. So right now, I just told him maybe he has too much stuff open on his computer. See, this Jamie Noodleman. He's like, you have to verify that people have like this amount of internet and stuff like that. And as much as I want to do that, I don't. Just because I don't want to cut somebody out of being interviewed just because like they don't have like 100.
okay. What the hell? So I don't know what it is because I'm connected with the cable to the like directly to the not the router but the uh mod or whatever it's called. So
The
like
modem,
literally,
yeah.
yeah, modem, yeah. So I don't know what's happening.
That's so
But
weird.
okay, before it goes out again,
Mode one. What's mode one?
mode one. So it is a direct communication style where you literally just in the first 5 minutes or less you express at least your interest or desire of why you're talking to the person.
Huh.
So that would mean in an interesting way, you could literally in the first 5 minutes, you don't waste time. This is literally like you would go as the longest is 5 minutes, but literally in the first 5 minutes or just straight up front, you tell the woman why you're talking to her and what you would like to engage with. I mean, you don't have to tell her I would like to fuck you, but you
You
have
make
the
your intentions known.
yeah, literally.
Yeah.
It's either that or like the offer goes as far as just being totally like explicit about it sometimes.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense, man. I mean, I always tell my buddies to do that. I'm like, rather than acting like you're friends with this lady and like
Oh my,
tricking,
that's just
you can't trick her and then you're gonna like look like this sleazeball. I'm like, why don't you just be honest? Be like, hey, I actually really like you. I've liked you for a long time and I wanna
yeah, but
take you out. Like
here's the thing. Here's the thing. Um, he says it in the first interaction, which is the hardest thing ever. Like,
it
can
is,
you
it is.
imagine like literally walking up to a girl, and and 5 minutes of you meeting her, you're like 5 minutes is really a cap, but like in the first couple sentences, you're literally like, I would I would really love it if I could share. I would really love to share your company like
Yeah,
at my place like tomorrow or something.
I've done that.
And you
It's
tell me like at first is it fucking frightening?
it's liberating. And I'm like
Yeah.
that with anybody I interact with. Always. I always will just be very upfront about things. but not rude or anything, but
Yeah,
like
it doesn't
just
have to
very
be.
upfront. Especially if I'm asking for like interviews and stuff, like when I'm like online trying to get people to do interviews, like it's literally like
Don't
within
waste
like,
time.
yeah, like right away I'm like, I've added you because I want to interview you, and that's the reason why we're talking right
And
now.
people like me appreciate it.
Right, like you just get right to it because there's not a lot of time, right? Like
Yeah.
it could be it could be something that you don't want to engage in, so it's very good to get it over with and be like no, or it could be
Mm.
a great opportunity, so why waste time on like not pursuing a great opportunity? It's like, let's just get to it, right?
Yeah, like, and think about back to the women you've been with, just because I've studied this for women, but it applies to everything. The people, I mean, the women you've developed relationships with, like most of them, like I would say 95, if not 100% of them, they would have been down from the first day. And I'm not saying down in like whatever happened between you guys, like a relationship as a boyfriend girlfriend or anything like that. Most and I'm this is not me calling any girl a slut or anything, because I that's that slut shaming thing, that's not in my head.
Yeah.
I'm totally against that. Um, most of you, us guys and most girls already know what they want with the person in the first in the first minute. They know. There's
Yeah.
studies out there. It's like 3 seconds,
Yeah, for women it's something like a few seconds or like a first couple minutes or something like that.
and they know. And why would you waste time beyond that? Like, I mean, that doesn't mean you don't talk to the person. This doesn't mean you don't communicate anything else. But like, if you're chit-chatting with someone for like half an hour or like 1 hour at a bar, and you are pretending like you're enjoying the conversation, but really all you want to ask her is, you want to go fuck now? And this is just me being direct. Like, most guys go out not because they want to talk to someone for 1 hour about things they really don't care about. Like, trust me, the guy, if a girl is watching this and listening to this, the guy asking you about your puppy at the bar probably doesn't give a fuck about your puppy.
but
Just to be honest,
and the thing is, like, perhaps there are some people that do,
there are
but like
exceptions. There,
whatever the intention is, it should be made known quickly.
yeah,
Like whatever it might be. It's like,
yeah.
hey, like, because I know some guys who like just come out of a relationship, they don't want anything to do with anybody. They get asked out. It's like they might as well just be honest and be like, no, I just got out of a relationship. I'm just coming outside because I'm trying to not be depressed.
Mm.
So I don't want to do that. But you
Yeah,
know, like you gotta just, whatever your situation is, you should
just
just
tell
be
'em.
upfront about it.
Yeah.
Definitely. Cause yeah, it happens. There's different things that happen all the time.
And sometimes, like, because the problem, and the thing is, this is a very good trait, because people appreciate you saying the unsaid.
Yeah,
You're
of
pointing
course.
out the elephant in the room, like, why the fuck are we even talking?
Yeah, a hundred
Because like,
percent.
you're chit chatting with someone at the party, and it could be like you're just trying. It could be many things. It could be you trying to be friendly. It could be you trying to just through them connect to someone. It could be you secretly know her for Facebook because you've been stalking her, and like some weird shit. Or you could just, like, she could be the sister of your best friend, and you just don't know each other yet, or whatever.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
there's a lot of things or you actually want to be friends with her because you friend zoned her, she didn't friend zone you, or
There you
like
go.
anything like that. Like, there's a ton of ways an interaction could go, and what the reasoning behind it is, and your thing is just this, and you express this, and if she's the same way, that's it. And if not, you can end it there.
So you know what? I actually like that that you're saying that, because that extends into business and into selling. I think
Yeah.
um, going for the ask when it comes to business. A lot of people don't like to actually ask for the business. They'll just like talk about it for a long
That's
time and kind
selfish.
of dance around it and
No,
everything like
no,
that.
it's selfish, really.
Yeah, of course. So yeah, it's really cool that you're saying that, because I've heard Gary Vee talk about that exact same thing.
I
He's
mean,
like
like,
he's like, just
think
go
about it,
for it.
like, this is my pet peeve with people being afraid of anything. even like just like you said, like it's liberating going to someone just being upfront. It's selfish of you denying that person the opportunity to either reciprocate or whatever the case is. Otherwise, you're gonna be there like in the corner of the bar. Like literally, if I was to go out right now and go to a bar and see someone I want to talk to, and maybe I want to pursue a romantic or sexual relationship with that person, right? Um, if I don't do that, if I don't go to talk to that person and express my interest, I'm either going. There are two things that happen. I'm either going to be like literally that guy looking in the corner, like checking them out every couple minutes, just coming off totally fucking creepy.
Yeah.
Or I could walk up to them and totally be dancing around the issue and wasting each other's time because we could have either gotten to the point of connecting or like disengaging the conversation, just moving on.
Exactly.
Whatever, like you're so selfish if you because you're fucking up their night being creepy or you're wasting their time by dancing around the issue.
Yeah, exactly.
That's selfish because
So
you're afraid of being rejected. Like what the fuck?
yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's so true.
And
So
it's
like
hard to say.
I like that I like that we got into this part because like I wanted to ask about behaviors in
Yep.
terms of like success and like what behaviors do you feel are most important in terms of achieving success, whether it be in fitness or business or just life in general.
So okay, I already mentioned environment. That's number one on my list always. So mentors, it's like speeches, videos, books, audiobooks, stuff like that, and
Mhm.
people physically around you, and put yourself in a place where it's normal to succeed and
Okay.
it's weird to procrastinate. Like
True.
put expectations on yourself and have people around you who have expectations like that. They will force you to succeed. Because if I live with Gary V, it will be very hard for me to procrastinate all day. Probably. Like that dude will look at me like I'm fucking crazy.
Yeah.
He'll
Yeah,
be like,
that's so true.
"Why are you not working? You're literally on your phone, but you're not making content. What's wrong with you?" I'm 100% he would kick my ass like that.
Yeah, probably.
But
More
if
than
I'm
likely.
around Joe Schmo who's smoking weed and eating Pop Tarts right now, he would be like, "Why are you talking to someone about some random podcast? You're weird."
Yeah.
Which expectation would you rather have around you if you want to
Huh.
succeed?
Yeah,
Some
true.
people prefer Joe Schmo. That's cool. Go be Joe Schmo number 2. I
Yeah.
won't be that guy.
Yeah, I like what you're saying, man. You will definitely benefit from listening to David Goggins' book. David Goggins is like right up your alley. He has a book called Can't Hurt Me. Um,
Goggins.
yeah, if you listen to any interview with David Goggins, you're gonna really like that guy. Really like
Awesome.
that guy.
I'll check it out.
Because he talks about that exact kind of thing. He's like, he actually says that exactly parable that you just brought up. He's like what people like is to have like the guy who like you're supposed to go out for a run at 3 a.m. and he's like, hey man, don't even worry about it, just let's chill out, eat a pizza today, let's just watch the game. He's like, people don't like having that guy around that's like, get your fucking shit on and let's fucking go for this
It's
run, let's
hard.
fucking go.
It's hard. It's a challenge.
Yeah, exactly,
I
right?
would love to have a person like that like living with me.
Yeah,
That's
right.
one of the things why one of the reasons I'm moving.
Yeah.
Like early 2019, I closed a couple more clients on like working with me.
Hmm.
I'm out of this house and I'm living in the capital. Cause like I want to be as close to more people who are like me.
Yeah,
Cause like I
definitely.
live in the countryside. This is how small this place is. I live in a village with 100 people.
Wow, really?
100 people in the whole village.
Wow.
Yeah. And like the
That's
capital is not even that big. I don't think it's like more than 150,000.
wow, really?
Yeah, like Slovenia has like 2 million, the whole place.
Holy Jesus.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
I am one out of 2 million.
Wow. But you know what? That's good. You're going to be able to dominate. There's not a lot of people.
Well,
So you're
yeah,
going to dominate.
I'm not just in the local market, so.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's
But
true.
I am, I'm the exception here, so.
Yeah, right?
Like,
Like you're going to dominate.
I'm the
But
guy with the beard.
that's but well, what else what
Habits.
else what else yeah, about behaviors more so. Like what behaviors did you have to get rid of in order to And let's talk about business in order to
Sure.
achieve this type of success where you're making these calls and hoping for
Okay.
24K sales deals and stuff.
Yeah. I'll update you on that tomorrow.
Yeah.
So I had to cut. I would say I'll say like this. I'll say everything like replace, right? So, because like when you think of cutting something out, there's always pain.
Of
But if you
course.
replace it, the pain is gone, right? I'm not cutting out smoking. I'm replacing smoking with running.
True.
You're filling up the gap, because people are afraid of the gap. Like once
True.
you're if you just have more time and you want to do something that you used to do and you love to do it and now you can't do it anymore, that's pain. But if I replace playing video games with building my business, and building my business brings me pleasure or just keeps my mind occupied while I'm not playing video games, then I just benefited. It's not a pain, it's just different.
True.
So that's just something I wanted to mention there, because for me that was a big thing. Just like trying to abstain from something instead of replacing it with something else. So with that said, I had to cut out, or at least severely limit, um, hanging out with people who are bad for my environment. Just part of the first thing I said I do.
Hmm.
Then it's a lot of things is, I wouldn't say behaviors I cut out, but like just things that are in place right now are learning new things all the time that are not specifically related to business.
Okay.
So the audiobook I'm listening to right now, which is related to what we talked about, like mode one, stuff like that.
Hmm.
I'm literally, this audiobook is about erotic talk. So it's like dirty talk, basically. Um, I'm open about this shit. I don't care.
Of course.
Um, like honest to God, who out there would not like to be better at sex? If you said no, you're lying. Um, probably it's primal. Don't lie to me. And even if you do whatever, that's just something I'm into, just improving every area of my life. So, and even if it's weird, like I'm learning about shit in this book that's just so out there that like you don't even think about this kind of stuff. And it's
Hmm.
not just related to sex, like other like things like Freud and the Madonna whore complex and shit like that. Like
Hmm.
just expanding your mind in that way and being aware of why things in society are the way they are. Like it just, first of all, it like it I think it releases like endorphins and shit like that, like and dopamine and so on, like just making new connections in your head, like learning new shit.
Yeah, neural pathways is what
Neural
happens.
pathways,
It,
yeah,
it
that's the
opens
word.
up new neural pathways as you're learning stuff.
Mhm. And it's not just that, it's just, I think I heard this, like it's just trying to go, this is an interesting way to do this, just like trying new things. It's like try going to work on a different road or a different path,
Yep.
like driving or walking. That will significantly make you more present in your day and like just feel amazing. It's
Yeah.
interesting. Or like brushing your teeth with your left hand and stuff like that, just trying random shit like that.
I was just gonna say that one. That's a good
It's
one.
interesting. It's, or like shower. Yeah, try showering the other way, like holding the, because I have like the handle. Like I
Oh yeah,
usually have it in my right, I put it in my left. I was like I've never showered before. It's
yeah.
um yeah. So stuff like that. Learning new stuff. Always, be it physical or just like stimulating your mind.
Yeah.
Um, for business specifically, like learning about other industries and like learning copywriting, marketing, selling. Learning about what some people are selling is fascinating. Like there are umbrellas out there for like 5K or 10K. Think about that. Like think about that when you think whatever you're selling is too expensive. Like me selling a $24,000 course to change someone's fucking life in a $10,000 umbrella. Think about that. Would you rather have 2.5 umbrellas, or would you rather change your life?
I know, right? I
Like,
guess it depends how much it rains where you're from.
dude, there's no umbrella. There is no umbrella worth to me, because like that's subjective, of course.
Of course, it's
I
ridiculous.
don't think I may find one once I'm a millionaire, which I really like, but it wouldn't be for the practical aspect of the umbrella. I'll say it like that.
No,
Okay, so
yeah.
there's that, just learning new shit. Um, and it relates to money. It's like business. Surround yourself with money. Literally, I have cash everywhere. Not because I'm this totally pretentious, too good to talk to anyone rich guy, but just it expands your mindset about money.
Yeah,
Like
and it puts into your subconscious that it's always around.
it is. Like literally, there is money. I would say like more than 10% of my desk is covered in money.
That's actually, yeah, I've never thought about that because, yeah, the subconscious is big. I have a lot of art and colors around me, and I have a lot of different quotes and stuff, so I can always take it into my subconscious. But I never thought of like leaving money everywhere,
Think about this. You open your wallet. Are there just credit cards in there, or is there a hunk of cash inside?
right? Because when you hear somebody say the word cash, you think, or you hear the word someone say the word money, you think of like actual money. You don't think of credit
Yeah,
cards
you're
usually.
like you open your wallet. Is there money in there, or is it just a bunch of credit cards and pennies? What
Dust.
what kind what kind of message are you sending to your mind?
Yeah,
Is
that's
there
so
is money
true.
abundant or is it scarce?
I never thought of that. I never thought of that. That's actually really smart. That's really smart.
I can't take credit. I got mentors. Check out Dan Locke. Uh,
Dan Locke, yeah, I've been seeing his ads everywhere, and I recently
he is
subscribed to his YouTube. I haven't
you
watched
better.
anything yet, but I'm going to.
I've been through his course, high ticket closer. It's amazing.
You took his course?
Yeah, it's
Really?
2.5. It was 2.5K at the time. I don't know what it is right now, but if you somehow find the money, get in there. It is worth it. You will gain a skill that will enable you to sell your own services, or you will be able to make money on the side selling for other people. And as a side hustle, you can make like I know people who the highest I've heard, a dude closed the deal, like actually connected the deal between Coca-Cola and another company, and he made a commission of $250,000 plus like 10% in share in the company,
Wow.
which is it's just fucking crazy. And what the deal was, it was about a specific like machine where you put like you have a bottle of Coke and you put it onto the machine and it like half freezes the Coke. So like you had ice cubes forming inside the Coke without you actually like changing anything physically. You just put it in the machine and it like I don't know what it does. Like ice cubes form inside the Coke just so you have like a it's like you putting ice cubes inside the bottle of a Coke.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it's
I
like
know
it's like
exactly what
nice
you
and
mean.
refreshing without you actually having to bring any ice.
Wow.
It's an amazing product. I saw it. Uh so he connected them to Coca-Cola. I don't know how long. I think it was like 2 or 3 months. Him putting the deal together,
Yeah.
and he made like $250,000 in commission.
So Dan Locke, high
I
ticket.
think it's closer. HTC.
Yeah,
I
HTC.
have the uh, certification here,
Wow.
so I
Look at
love it.
you.
We call him Sifu, which means teacher in
Sifu.
Chinese. It's out of respect more so than a formality.
Of course.
It's yeah, he's an amazing man. But yeah, I would recommend him and checking out his stuff. Just if you're into business or into whatever related to self development slash entrepreneurship.
Okay.
So he's amazing.
And I also, I guess let's touch on fitness for a quick second. What
Sure.
habits do you think people need to incorporate in order to take control of their fitness and their health?
Okay. So one of the biggest things for me as a person who has giant appetite is intermittent fasting.
Okay.
It look it up, but it's basically it is not eating for a portion of the day. So what I do is I wake up and I will not eat usually for the first 6 to 8 hours of the day. So
Yeah.
I will only drink water. I will maybe drink some pre-workout or I will drink some coffee, black, no milk, no nothing.
Hmm.
Um, so basically 0 calories till the first meal, and your body adapts to it, and you're not as hungry in that period. and you can go without food for half the day, no problem. And then when you actually get to it, you eat these big, satisfying meals, and you're able to eat a lot less at the end of the day, which is what
Yeah.
counts when it comes to weight loss.
Yep.
So that was a very big thing for me. Just of course learning to enjoy eating healthy meals, be it when you're trying to gain weight or lose weight. Just don't junk is never it's never the long term solution. Like, it's enjoyable for the 5 minutes, but you feel like shit for the next 24 hours. And I don't say this because everyone says it and because it's the right thing to say. I say it because I mean it. Like, there is no cake that tastes as good that you would every day prefer to eat that cake and be hungry for half of the day instead of replacing that cake with, I don't know, some like beans and chicken or whatever you enjoy eating.
Yeah.
Like, there's tasty ways to eat anything. Like, I can Google a recipe for some random 200 calorie meal with broccoli and it will taste amazing. While you can eat, for the same calories, you can eat a muffin and it will leave you feel even more hungry and agitated, and your blood sugar will be all over the place and shit like that. So like, finding healthy meals that you enjoy is a big thing.
Yeah.
And always have water close to you. Like, just that's big. And sleep is probably number one on my priority list. Like, you will be amazed how your life changes if you go. I was talking to a guy about this today, and this is one of the things I first changed with my clients is sleep. If you're getting 4 to 6 hours of sleep, you are 50% of the man you could be on 8 hours. And this is not an exaggeration. Most people, there are exceptions like Gary Vee, like 6 hours, 5 hours, whatever. They're crazy,
Yeah.
but like, most people will function tremendously better on 8 hours of sleep. Even if you can just go from 5 to 6 or 6 to 7, you will see a massive difference. But
Yep.
I would always prefer between 7 and 9.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
So
That definitely makes sense.
that's a very big thing because it plays into your motivation, it plays into your cravings, it plays into your energy, it plays into you getting results from your workouts, and it plays into your willpower. It plays into everything. And if not even for fitness, for business,
Yeah.
it if you're not motivated, if you're not energetic, if you don't have willpower, you're not gonna be as impactful, you're not gonna be as productive, and you'll half-ass everything.
Yeah.
So
Definitely. Definitely.
so the 1 hour of YouTubing and Facebooking before bed is literally costing you to make less money, be less fit, and not be as an impactful person in your relationships. So go sleep more. That's
That's a
my
good way of looking at it. Really good way of looking at it. Before I ask my last question, let everybody know where they can find you online and what you got going on right now.
So just because I don't know when your website will be up,
Okay.
um, I would prefer you guys just search me out at just Facebook, Florjan Avsenek. That is spelled Florjan Avsenek, or literally just copy it from the name of the interview. That would be the
Yeah.
easy way. Um, or you can just link my profile down
Yeah.
on there. And I also have my Facebook group, which you can apply for if you will be accepted. It is the Fit Life Challenge group, where basically I take entrepreneurs and high achievers through. I have a 5 video series where I take them through a weekly transformation. Plus, I also post content on there regularly. So whatever questions you have, I answer there. I have stuff exclusive to there that I don't post anywhere else. So if you want to apply for that, message me or just click the join group there. And if you want to apply for any coaching or anything, message me directly. We'll see how you qualify and stuff like that. But yeah, just message me. Okay.
All right, cool, cool. All right, so my last question is for anybody who is just getting started in their journey of fitness, health, starting a business, just all of a sudden now they realize that they have to make that shift from being less than they could be to being the most that they can be. What would your best advice be to that person?
The easiest way and the fastest way to do it is to find someone who has the results that you want. Either model what they did, so copy what they did, or get their advice and get them supporting you and helping you along the way. So, but it has to be someone you look up to, because otherwise you will hate their guts and you will not want to do what they did. If you don't like Gary Vee, don't follow Gary Vee. If you don't like Tony Robbins, don't follow Tony Robbins. There's so many people, so many coaches, so many people you can resonate with, and it will help you in the long run if you do. So go out there, find that person, and work with them, and they will help you get success a lot faster.
I like that. I like that a lot.
It's true. It's been the number one thing for me. Like,
Yeah.
you will not follow the advice of someone you hate,
Definitely not.
and they can be the smartest person ever. That's why school doesn't work.
Yeah, right. That's so true. Man, that was great. Thank you so much. And to anybody who is listening and watching, like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. This is The Process, the podcast about habits, mindset, and behaviors. Thank you so much for watching. Colin Cummings and Florjan. Say your last name.
Avsenek.
Avsenek. Yeah.
With a big bicep. No, just kidding.
Big biceps.
Yeah.
All right, man. Take it easy.
You too. Peace.
Peace. Or maybe I should just outro it like this. Maybe I should just be like, hey, guys, I'm not going to do it again, but because now I'm like full screen, I can see myself. Yeah. So that was Florjan. So young and so just, I wish I was doing that kind of stuff when I was his age. I wish I knew what high performance was. I wish I even knew what a mentor was. I didn't know any of that at his age. That was a very enlightening interview, and it made me really happy that I'm doing what I'm doing right now, because he's 20 years old, right? And a lot of people who I'm going to interview are in their 40s or in their 30s. And younger people might look at that and be like, that's so far away. But he's such a great example of, like, if you're like 18 right now and you're thinking of starting a business, do it. Like, you can. Like, he's proof of that. He started when he was like 18, 17 years old. Now he's 20, turning 21, I think. So, and I mean, he's not even in Canada. He's out in Europe. He's in Serbia. So there's no excuse. He made it work by communicating with people exactly like this, like through Zoom, through the internet. So if you're like in North America right now and like make it happen. Yeah, this was a good one. I guess I'll do an outro like that. That's the outro. Again, like, subscribe, share. This is The Process with Colin Cummings, and I will see you guys later. Peace. Should I do the hand thing? I'll do the hand thing.